Mike. This is what Mike Tyson. When Mike Tyson shows up, everybody makes money. Jake Paul is. I don't have to tell you guys. You guys know Mike Tyson is the A++++ side of that thing.
Dana White just canceled Jake Paul faster than one of Jake's cringy YouTube pranks, all over that scripted fight with Mike Tyson. From the start, Dana called it out, saying there's no way Tyson would seriously need to step into the ring with Jake.
The Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight.
Interesting.
Script.
How so? What do you mean by
It's just
script?
weird. It just
Tyson doesn't need the paycheck, the drama, or the risk of fighting someone who likely Googles how to box before every match. But Jake insisted, and now the truth is out.
Jake needs these guys. Jake needs Tyson and needs all these other people because everybody's going to tune in to hope that Mike Tyson knocks him out.
Right.
They're not tuning in because they think Jake Paul's a great fighter and they want to see him compete.
Dana spilled major tea about the behind-the-scenes drama, and surprise, surprise, it was more staged than Jake's TikTok apologies. But before diving into details of Jake's antics, let's get to Dana's take on this mess from the start.
Mike Tyson, Jake Paul was scripted. That was a scripted fight. It was blatantly obvious. Go watch Mike train. And John Jones is an absolute problem. Problem. The scariest man on the planet.
You honestly think this kid's going to do anything to me? He's not good. He's not going to me out. He's not going to do this. And you saw him. He tripped when he was walking down the thing. He had a hard time walking up the stairs. He had a knee brace on. And Jake Paul couldn't do anything to him.
Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson sounds more like a carnival act than a serious fight. And that's exactly how Dana White saw it. The UFC president wasn't just unimpressed. He was downright insulted. In classic Dana style, he went scorched earth, calling the whole complete farce. Can you blame him? When a 57-year-old legend with creaky knees and a brace still outclasses a self-proclaimed future of boxing, there's not much to applaud.
He's not going to knock me out. He's not going to do this. And you saw him when he was walking down the thing. He had a hard time walking up the stairs. He had a knee brace on. And Jake Paul couldn't do anything to him. He made a ton of money. And I know people are mad. You stayed home on a Saturday night, but you didn't pay for it. You know what I mean? And Mike, this is what Mike Tyson, when Mike Tyson shows up, everybody makes money. Jake Paul is I don't have to tell you guys. You guys know Mike Tyson is the A++++ side of that thing. And he was right. Jake Paul couldn't do shit to him.
Dana White didn't hold back. His disdain wasn't subtle. He didn't just question Jake Paul's abilities. He outright dismissed them. To White, this so-called fight wasn't about skill, but a cringeworthy reminder that Jake's boxing career thrives on gimmicks, not grit. He made it clear, boxing deserves better than this overhyped spectacle. Jake Paul isn't known for taking the hard road. His strategy has always been to cherry-pick opponents who generate headlines, not genuine competition. While Dana has long criticized Jake's tactics, this time he pulled no punches. To him, Jake isn't a boxer, he's a marketer. And while he's a great one, that doesn't make him a fighter.
Saying that it was scripted because Tyson trained really hard, but then was like throwing the fight in the ring.
The way Tyson trained, the way he looked, the way he moved.
Training it and fighting, though. Training it and fighting. I can get on board. I don't want to use the term scripted. Here's what my takeaway was after watching the fight. And it reminded me a little bit of Mayweather-Pacquiao from a few years ago when we didn't.
The Mike Tyson match marked the peak of Jake Paul's absurdity. Dana White called it proof that Jake prioritizes spectacle over authenticity. Why face someone your own age and weight class when you can target a 57-year-old legend? And let's be honest, Tyson wasn't exactly in prime shape. Yet, even with his age and physical limitations, Tyson exposed Jake's lack of genuine skill. That wasn't a win for Jake, it was a humiliation.
Saying he was banned from all UFC events and then put the costume on.
Yeah, nobody's banned from the UFC. Listen, that kid knows how to market and do his thing, and all that good shit. Yeah, no, Jake Paul's welcome to come to UFC.
Yeah, no, he's just saying that to make it seem like I wasn't banned, but definitely has sent an email to me saying I'm trespassed from all UFC events and I'm not welcome back, etc. Of course, Dana doing what he does best, which is lie.
Mike Tyson may not be the knockout king he was in the 80s, but even at 57, he's no pushover. His technique, despite limited mobility, was miles ahead of Jake's. Watching Tyson dominate key moments was a clear reminder that skill and experience outweigh social media clout. Dana White wasted no time pointing out the absurdity of this matchup. Tyson, who likely spends more time icing his knees than training, still controlled the fight, while Jake struggled to land anything meaningful. If this fight was meant to establish Jake as a legitimate boxer, it backfired spectacularly. It only highlighted how far he is from being a serious contender.
You see some of these crossover fights. Obviously, I know that you and Jake Paul have had your disagreements. Do you think that Jake's gotten better as a boxer?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. And listen, what Jake Paul has accomplished is he's fighting old guys.
Yes.
He's fighting, all he fights are old guys and whatever. But listen, say what you want, he wins. And he makes money. So he's doing his thing, you know.
You just don't see it as a sustainable thing.
He fought Tommy Fury and lost. Where's that rematch? Where's that rematch?
I don't know where it's at. I know he's fighting a 57-year-old champ now. What's
58.
58. Don't want to take a year away from you, Mike.
He's fighting a guy that's almost 60 years old. And you know what I mean? I mean, that says it all. That says it all. There's nothing else that needs to be said. That's his shtick. That's his thing. He fights guys that are old, usually undersized guys, older, undersized guys.
Dana White has little tolerance for the degradation of combat sports, and to him, Jake Paul epitomizes everything wrong with modern boxing. White didn't just criticize Jake's fight with Tyson. He called it a case study in how to undermine a sport's credibility. In Dana's eyes, boxing has turned into a playground for influencers and entertainers, leaving true athletes in the shadows.
Tyson was right, and I was wrong. You know, when you guys know the whole story about Shark Week, and you know, if you don't, I begged him not to do the Roy Jones fight. You're too old. I love you. I don't want to see you take punishment. So I set him up on Shark Week. He got paid good money, and he's like, so he almost flipped out the last day and was ready to kill everybody on the boat because he had to jump in with all these.
Dana White likened Jake Paul's career to a reality TV show, scripted, shallow, and focused solely on creating viral moments. It's not about skill or dedication, but about how many people you can convince to click buy on a pay-per-view. Except this time, even that wasn't an option. The fight aired on Netflix. To Dana, that was a glaring sign of failure for someone who claims to be a major draw. Streaming the fight on a platform known for sitcom binges screams boxing royalty.
About to sneak into the sphere. 2 years ago, I was banned from all UFC events by Dana.
Let's take a moment to address Jake Paul's delusions of grandeur. He's openly said he wants to fight Canelo Alvarez, one of the best pound-for-pound boxers in the world. Dana White didn't just roll his eyes. He practically laughed Jake out of the room. Dana called it delusional hype, and honestly, he's not wrong.
Here, and him and Tyson are going to make a shitload of money.
A bunch of money.
And good for both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Good for both of them. Like I say, Jake Paul can fight. It's not like Jake Paul can't fight.
Yeah.
Jake Paul just won't fight.
Jake couldn't handle a 57-year-old Tyson with limited mobility, yet he's eyeing a fight with Canelo. It's like a middle schooler challenging LeBron James to a one-on-one. Dana was blunt. To stop chasing fantasy fights and focus on opponents who are actually in his league. But then again, that wouldn't generate the kind of headlines Jake craves.
Will can fight real guys and keep his credibility intact and still make that kind of money. You know what I mean? Jake needs these guys. Jake needs Tyson and needs all these other people because real guys and keep his credibility intact and still make that kind of money. Jake needs these guys. Jake needs Tyson and needs all these other people because.
So, where does Jake go from here? Dana's verdict was clear. This fight didn't elevate Jake's career.